I don't know how I feel about this look, like with the blonde hair and like the blue eyes. It's what's done is done. Hey guys, this is Brandy. I am back with another video, and if you're wondering like, oh my god, she's back again, this is crazy, it's because I've had like a burst of like ideas lately and I need to get them out there before I explode. And also, if you're like, why did she actually take the time to do her makeup this video? It's because I am planning this one video and it does involve me putting on makeup, but you guys won't see it for a while because I need to practice more. This basic look took me forever. Oh, and before I get started, I do have what was I going to say? Yes, I wanted you guys' help with my next few videos because I'm trying to decide which one I should do next. I'll put like a little voting thing somewhere if I can figure it out. If I can't figure it out, like put it in the comment section and just say, I want you to do this one. I was gonna do my side hoe story time, and then there's another story time. Oh, it's prom, and that one does feature Jewel from like my psychotic best friend story, whatever. The babysitting like story time. Keep in mind with story times, they do take me a bit longer to do just because I film one day, then it takes me about 3 to 4 days to edit them. All you guys will see is like maybe 10 to 20 minutes, but like I usually have 2 or 3 hours of footage that I edit down to like 15 to 20 minutes. And then I have like it's like ghost experiences that I might have, and then the last one would be, oh no, tarot or astrology. Maybe I should separate them. So 5 options. If I can put 6, I'll separate tarot and astrology. All right, got that out of the way. So now, I don't know what that was. I spoke about like how I had my first date at 23, and I thought I should tell you the story time of that first date. This story takes place back when I was in college. This was my last semester of college. It was only like a few weeks before I was done. I've been using dating apps for probably like the past month, and also during this time like I had been working out a lot more. My eating habits weren't that great. It was more like I lost a lot of weight really quickly because I was mainly eating just like a vegetable burrito a day and like yogurt. Like my confidence was up even if my energy was low because I looked better. But I'm actually not healthy. It just goes to show you that crash dieting does not work because hello, I gained it back. So yes, I was feeling a little bit more confident, and so I downloaded these apps. I had encountered like so many different like weird kind of guys. Like I remember there was one guy with like a foot fetish, and I was like about ready to just sort of delete this app when I realized I got this message from this other guy. And this guy, I think he had messaged me before, but I never really like paid attention to him. He wasn't bad looking. I really wasn't all that interested in him physically. I decided, hey, why not? It's like my last week of college. Not last week, second to last week of college, and I do want to get this first date thing out of the way. So I messaged him back, and the conversation's actually going pretty well. Like he was pretty easy to talk to. I remember that fact. I was like not expecting that. So we're talking like I think for like 2 days or something like that. It wasn't that long of a time, and he asked me out. He actually didn't live too far away from me, but I was specifically like looking for guys in New York City. I went to school in New York, but I didn't go to school in New York City. Like I had like one class in New York City. So I wanted to spend more time there because New York City is like my favorite city. So we like both liked Chinese food. So I think we agreed to meet at this Chinese restaurant, and there was this one restaurant that like Kim Kardashian went to, and that's the one I really wanted to go to. And I said, what time do you want to meet? Because like I need to plan my schedule because I need to take like a bus and a train and like another bus like to get there. And he was like, what the hell? Like he was like, where do you live? Like this is crazy. You shouldn't have to do all that. And I told him like the area I lived in. He was like, that's literally like 10 minutes away from me. Like we don't need to go to New York City. So I said, oh, I didn't know that. So we don't have to do that. But secretly I was like a little sad because I didn't want to go. I was like, I want to go to New York City. I wanted to go around on a date on New York City. That's still a goal of mine. So we rearranged our dates, and he's like, okay, how about we just go to this movie theater? And I said, all right, cool. I'll just take the bus there. Do you like know if there's like a bus stop nearby. And he said, no, you don't need to take a bus. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'll take the bus. It's not a big deal. Like, it's just a bus. He was like, no, I can't have you taking the bus like that. I'm gonna pick you up. Okay. Like, I was a little bit unsure because I don't know about a stranger picking you up. I wasn't too keen on that aspect. But ultimately, I agreed because of my location. I didn't live in like a typical dorm. I technically lived in a hotel. Like our school was weird. I don't know. I told him, you know, hey, I live in a hotel. Just like come pick me up at this time. And he was like, you live in a hotel? Like what the fuck? Like I sounded like some kind of like prostitute. I'm just staying in a hotel, just looking for clients. So the date comes around when it's time for us to go on a date. And I remember just being like in the mirror, practicing my makeup like so hard, and I wasn't as good as I am now, and I'm not even good now. I'll insert some pictures of like me, what I looked like at the time. Like you can probably see like my face was a lot thinner. And so I'm sitting in the bathroom just putting on my makeup, and I get a text from him, and he's just like, hey, I'm here. And I'm like, you're kind of early. I was just like, oh, I'm not quite done my makeup, but just give me like 5 minutes and I'll be down there. I didn't even bring my wallet, guys. That's the kind of girl I am. Like I really expect a guy to pay for the first date. And so I just brought my purse just for like decoration, so I don't look like I didn't come with nothing, but really I came with nothing. So I go downstairs and I have my phone in my hand, and I have like his pictures like saved to my phone so I properly identify him and I don't just step into some stranger's car. I'm texting him, I'm like, okay, I'm downstairs, where are you? And he's all like, oh, I'm in a silver Honda. And I'm just like, what's a silver Honda look like? And I feel like so dumb like just asking it. So I'm just trying to like get a Wi-Fi signal from the hotel to Google silver Honda so I can recognize his car real quick. But the Wi-Fi was being slow. It was just like, just tell me what you're wearing. So I just described what I look like, and then he gets out the car and he like comes over, and I was like, okay, he actually looked better in person. So we greet each other, and it's super awkward at first, given the fact that like I'm kind of a nervous talker sometimes when I'm in uncomfortable situations. I somehow just found a way to just talk through it. The whole time we're just going through the movie theaters, talking about any and everything, talking about the sky being blue, talking about like the speed limit, just things that are just, why is she even talking about this? And at the same time, like I whipped out my phone and I was like texting my friend, this is my address, this is my location. You know what? I never describe what people look like just for like privacy reasons, but I feel like this is such an obscure story and it's not really anything negative about him. To describe him, he was kind of like, I think he was like 5'10". Culturally, I think he was Irish and Chilean. And he had like this like brown sort of wavy sort of hair. So that's what he looks like. That's what I'm looking at. So we pull up to the theater and he parks and we sit in the parking lot. And I turn to him and I'm like ready to get out. And he's just like, oh, the movie doesn't start for like 20 minutes. What do you mean the movie doesn't start in the 20 minutes? What I'm thinking he was like, he wanted to make sure that I wasn't like a hideous troll before he pulled up to like, I don't know, the movie theater and like bought tickets and everything. Give himself time to leave if I was like either ugly or like a psychopath or something like that. The conversation in the car was super chill. He just started talking about like his family members. I could tell he was like super family oriented. The car we were sitting in was the car his grandpa gave to him, etc. After the 20 minutes, we like walk inside to the theater. And one thing I did notice is a lot of people did stare at us and they were like hardball like eyeing us. You know what we watched? It was like a religious themed movie. I think it was Moses. This is such a bizarre movie choice to watch. The Bible doesn't put anyone in the mood, I don't think. So during the movie, I'm like sitting like this, like hands clutched, like right in front of me. So here's me. All of a sudden, just like his hand is just like clutching over top of my hand. What the hell is this? I just don't like physical contact like that. The whole time I was like, give me my hand back. At the time he just kept like holding this firm grip on my hand. I felt like I had to reciprocate, so I just flipped my hand over and he just went right in and just like a crane girl. And I was like, you need to stop. But I didn't know a way to do that to like, that wasn't like rude, but get away from me. It just seemed so rude, so I just let him continue with that. I'm just over here just like So after the movie, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go home now. Like I said this to him and he was just like, oh no, you don't have to go. Like he was trying to get me to like stay on this date with him. He said, oh yeah, we can just go get Chinese. And I was like, okay, that's the magic words. It was like one of those little small hut Chinese places. I sit down, he sits down. He starts telling me more about himself. He has a black belt. He used to be in military school. We were just going on over the things like we had in common. The conversation sort of continues and I ended up accidentally asking him on a second date, what are you doing Thursday? But I just meant like, what are you up to? Like, I'm being curious. He kind of took it as, let's go out again. In my head, I was like, oh, I didn't mean to ask him out again. I knew personality wise, like we weren't really fully compatible. Like I thought he was really nice. I wasn't really excited or thrilled or like happy to be there. We make plans again. He takes me home. He pulls up to the front of the hotel. As soon as he gets to like where the hotel doors, I like open the door super quick and I say bye. Next day, next weekend, or next Thursday, something like that. On this second date, we went to this restaurant, this sort of restaurant where they cook the food in front of you. So we went to like this empty kind of parking lot. It's like pitch black, nobody's around. This restaurant literally has like 4 people in it. I look at the menu, like, this is expensive. But he says just like pick what you want and like he's paying. Maybe I'll try to sneak in and try to pay at the end. Like I picked something cheap. So we were supposed to be taking turns like flipping over the different foods. I kept getting distracted and slightly like zoning in and out because I wasn't like I've been drinking. On this date, like I was enjoying it a little bit more, probably because I was a little bit tipsy. So he had to like flip over and turn all the food because I just was not paying attention to it at all. And I remember we were talking about Naruto and I used to like be really into Naruto. If I just pull here, Naruto. And so he was telling me how the episode ended. The check comes and this is where I felt really bad. I actually did have money this time. I was gonna like pay for it. I was just like, how much was it? And he just like takes the check like from me. Are you sure you don't want me to like chip in, pay half? And he was just like, no, it's fine. And so he like gets up and he like goes to the staff and he's just like, how much was a double shot of Jack Daniels?
It's $18.
So he pays for the check. We end up leaving and we're walking towards like the parking garage and like he was really quiet and I was wondering like, is something going wrong? Did I say something awful to him? Like what was the problem? And I'm just like trying to make conversation, but he isn't really saying too much back to me. So as soon as we like get in the car, I'm like in a rush to put on my seatbelt because I'm just like, oh my god, I want to go home. I must have done something wrong or said something wrong. And so he gets in the car, he sits there, and we're not moving. What's happening? Just kind of just leaned over, like did the thing, wrapped his arm around the seatbelt and just like leaned over and kissed me like right in the face. And I'm not gonna lie guys, like I hadn't gotten, you know, like busy in a minute and so I was a little thirsty. I mean like parched and dry. So once he just like leaned over, you know, things got started. So it turned into just basically like a full-blown like session. After that I was like, hey, you know, I need to go back to my hotel because I still had work to do. I had finals, papers, assignments, projects. I had to go. But he wasn't trying to leave like that, obviously. So he's like, you know what, fine. As soon as we get to my hotel, he turns to me and he's just like, are you sure I can't come up? And I said, no, you can't come up. We have RAs. I have to like tell them beforehand and get you a pass. He was just like, no, let's just go up. I was like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was like, I really don't think we're gonna get away with that. And he just like gets out the car and I'm like, okay. We went through the lobby to the elevator and the way my room was set up was I was literally like the first room on the right. You would come out the elevator and you turn this way. After you turn that way, you have 2 ways to go. And then right in front of it was the RA's desk. When you come in, you always have to walk past RA and security. I walk up, like I'm in front of them. I turn to the right, literally like reaching in my bag, like real quick, and then swipe the room card and just go in. It's nothing sneaky about it. It's super blatant. They didn't say anything to me. So we just go into the room. We may have done some adult things, but you know, didn't do anything too scandalous. After that, I can tell he wanted to stay. Like I said, guys, I had papers and stuff to do. I was like, get out, you know what I mean? I feel so shady. I end up walking him out and like saying goodbye. That was literally the last time I saw him in person. He did contact me like a month later. I'm pretty sure he wasn't really all that interested in me. I was already in Maryland, but he did not know that. Apparently I had forgotten to tell him that I was graduating, which actually is a shitty thing to do. If he actually had been interested, I don't think he really was. So yeah, that is my story of my first date. I don't think it was that sad of a story. Maybe it was. I guess it did kind of end like in a little shady way. And I will see you guys next time, next video. Au revoir.